thing about today. Solving the right triangle means to find all the missing parts. So if you look at this triangle, there's certain things you know and certain things that you don't know.
Let's get off your phone.
See? Alright, so what you have to do is take what you know and find what you don't know. Now the difference between this and last week is that there's not one set right way of doing it. There are 3 unknown parts, and you're going to have to use a mixture of all your knowledge to figure out what you need to do to find one of the missing pieces, and you go from there. Because of that, your answer might be slightly off from mine. But I'm not talking about like a big difference. I'm talking about like a difference of like between 10.9 and 10.7, or like something that's really close. But because of the different ways of doing it, the rounding might come out different. Okay, so focus on this example up here, please. And I'm going to show you, first of all, how to understand it. And then after that, we'll do it a slightly shorter way. So first of all, we need to identify all 6 parts of this triangle. So find for me, or name for me, please, 3 angles.
Okay.
Good. I heard all of those. Angle M, angle N, and angle P. Okay, name for me, please, 3 sides that you see there.
N, P.
Good. When you do these problems on your own, you are going to have to start off by identifying the 3 that are missing. You're going to have to start with that. Right now, let's start differently. Let's start with the ones that we know. This 5 is something we know. That's NP right here. That one equals 5. And that's an exact number. It's not rounded. It's given to you. We also know what? Is MP. Good. And one angle. There's one angle we know. What angle is that? 90 degrees on angle P. Good. Alright. So for every time you get a problem like this, you're going to have 3 things that have to be given to you. What we have to focus on are the 3 things that we don't know. Alright, so let's start with angle M. Let's make angle M our focus angle, and that has to stay throughout the whole rest of the problem. You can't change the focus angle in the middle of the problem unless you erase and start all over again. If angle M is your focus angle, what would I call this? A over H. Oh, opposite. Good. What would I call this one? Adjacent. And this one? Good. Now, if you're focusing on angle M, only 2 of these letters matter right now. Which 2 letters? O and A. Good job. The ones where there's information given. So we want to focus on the letter A, 7.5, and the letter O, which is 5. O and A makes what word? Tangent. T. So write this with me. The tangent of the focus angle, since I don't know any degrees, I'm going to write M. The tangent of the focus angle, M, equals the opposite O, goes before A, the opposite 5 over 7.5. Now there's other ways you could do this. This is the way that I started out. You're just going to have to use your own knowledge and skills to decide which path you want to go. Alright, do I know the degrees?
No.
No. So take your calculator right now and use the tangent inverse button. When we don't know the degrees, then we don't cross and multiply. We just use the tangent inverse button, and let's see what you get.
Wait, how do you do it again?
Hold on 1 second. 33.7. Thank you. And we're going to do the nearest tenth unless the directions tell us otherwise. On your calculator, you divide first, hit equals, and then you hit divide.
5 divided by 7.
Because it's 33 point something, 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 that means it's estimated, it's rounded to. Oh. This is exactly 7.5, because that's what I had. Alright, so that is about 33.7. Finding angle N is even easier than that. Anybody, before I tell you, does anybody have any idea? If angle N is 33.7. Look at this triangle right here and tell me how could I find angle N? Easy.
90.
Uh-huh.
You added and subtracted by 90.
Good. A whole triangle is 180 degrees, all the inside angles. So you can start with 180. Whenever you have a triangle and you're just talking about angles, we're ignoring the sides for right now. So we do 180 for the whole triangle, minus the 90 you already have here, and then minus the 33.7, and we get 56.3. Now, some of you might realize that you don't have to go through all of that. If it's a right triangle, all you really have to do is 90 minus 33.7, and it'll get you the same thing. All right, so we only have one thing left that's unknown. We've done this one, and we've done this one. So what's left is side MN. And listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you. There are two ways to do it. You can use SOHCAHTOA, or who can think of another word to solve for our missing side right here? The Pythagorean theorem. Good. SOHCAHTOA is one way. Pythagorean theorem is the second one. All right, I'm going to tell you neither one is better than the other. But if you look at this angle, if I use SOHCAHTOA, I have to use an angle. And this angle, 33.7, isn't exact. It's 33 point something, 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 something. It's estimated. If I use that estimated angle then to try to find a hypotenuse, I'm getting an estimation of an estimation, and my answer is going to be further off. If I use Pythagorean theorem, this is an exact 7.5, an exact 5, so I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem instead. I'm not telling you that's always the best, but in this case it is, because this one is estimated and these two are exact. Okay, but you're going to have to use your own logic in trying to figure out what's best in the case that you have. So this is going to be side MN is the one I'm trying to find. Side MN, the hypotenuse is across from the right angle. Side MN is the hypotenuse, that's squared, equals what other two numbers squared? 5 squared and 7.5 squared. The other two sides. Hypotenuse squared equals the other two sides squared. And I can put an equal sign here because I already know there's a right angle. I don't have to try to figure out greater than or less than. All right, shortcut in your calculator. Start with 7.5 squared. Will I add, I hit the wrong thing. Thank you. 7.5 squared it. Now, will I hit the plus sign or the minus sign? Plus 25, that's 5 squared. Make sure you hit equals. And that's not my answer. That's MN squared. How do I get MN? Square root sign. Square root sign, so we get about 9.0. Because if we're not told, what we're going to do is round to the nearest tenth, unless we're told otherwise. So that's 9.0, or I guess you could say 9. The radical from your calculator? What I did in the calculator was I found MN squared was equal to 89 something, and then I took the square root of that to get just MN by itself. Okay, so that one's done. Look down at example number 1. We're going to do two of them together, and you're going to do a couple with a partner. Number 1. This time, let's not list out all 6 pieces. This time, let's just try to find the ones that are missing. And the directions don't say what we have to round it to, so we can round it to the nearest tenth unless you can round to anything reasonable. All right, looking at this case now, I only want you to tell me which parts are the missing ones. Which ones are blank?
Angle T.
Measure angle T. Yep.
RS.
Side RS. Yep. Good. There should always be 3. If there are 4 things missing, then you can't do the problem. There has to be. You want to do SOHCAHTOA? All right. Here's the thing, though. I think angle T would be really easy to find right now.
Oh yeah.
There's 2, and you subtract from 180. So go ahead and do 180 minus 90 minus 58. What do we get? I used an equal sign because I didn't estimate it. I used a 90 and a 58. I didn't have to round to anything. Okay? RS. Let's try to find RS. Over here, I'll put an X right there because I'm going to work on RS. So which one should I use as my focus angle? Personally, I wouldn't use T just because I came up with that. And what if like I typed in my calculator wrong and got 32 wrong? It would mess up the whole entire problem. I always like to go back to the original one that they actually gave me. If you use 32, technically it'll come out okay, but you run a risk of like if you make a mistake here, it can mess up the rest of your problem. If possible, I would go back to the one that's given. But if you use 32, it wouldn't be wrong. It's just more of a possibility of getting it. Alright, so we are going to deal with this one. What's this one called? Opposite. And we're going to deal with this one. Adjacent. Good. O and A are the ones that matter right now. What A means tangent. Tangent of the focus angle R, 58 degrees, good. When you know the degrees, you write them down. And it equals the opposite 14 over the adjacent x, good. Now, some of you know the shortcut right here. When x is on the bottom, you don't multiply the two numbers, you divide the two numbers. But I'm going to write it out just for everybody to remember again. When you know the degrees, you use the regular button and you cross multiply. You do not use the inverse button. So what we have is x times the tangent of 58. And that equals 1 times 14. What do I have to do now to get x though? Divide. Good. So are some of you noticing a pattern that happens every time here? Whenever x is on the bottom, what do we end up doing? No, you don't see it yet? Whenever x is on the bottom, you end up dividing 14 divided by 10 and 58. Whenever x is on the top, you end up multiplying the two numbers together. So take your calculator, this one's going to be estimated, and do 14, and then divided by, find the tangent of 58, however your calculator works, and hit equals. Let's see what we get. 8.7. Does everyone's calculator agree? Woo. 8.7. Does anybody have a question on finding that? Your quiz scores on Friday for the number 1 and 2 were very, very good. Overall class averages were like 80%. RT. Let's take RT and let's call it something different. Let's call it Y. At this point in time, we don't care about X anymore because if you want to use it, you could, but the problem is that it's estimated. And if you try to use an estimated answer, then your answer comes out to be an estimation of an estimation. So it's better off if you go back to using the 14, the exact answer that's given. What letter stands for RT here?
H.
H, good. And so O and H make sign. Now at this point, you could use Pythagorean theorem if you chose to. It's not wrong to use Pythagorean theorem, but your answer will come out slightly off from mine because if you use Pythagorean theorem with an estimated 8.7 right here, your answer is still going to be an estimation of an estimation. By using the sign instead, I'm using exact numbers, 58 and 14. So like I'm trying to tell you, it's not necessarily wrong. It's just a matter of what's going to come out to be the best of the answers. All right, so sine of 58 would equal what on top? 14 over y. Good. Okay, when the variable's on the bottom, are you going to multiply these two numbers together?
No.
Nope, you're going to divide. Do 14 divided by the sine of 58. And y will be about 16 or 15? 16? Point 5? Thank you. calculator telling you something different?
I think I'm doing
Does it say degrees in the screen of your calculator, or did someone have changed that? Still says degrees. Okay, so start with 14. Type in 14. Hit divided by. Now type in the 58, and then the sign button. Now hit equals. That's the sign of 58.
Oh,
So equals does the division. All right, one more to do together slowly, and then you guys are going to be on your own because this is nothing new. This is just combining everything together that we know about right triangles. Anyone still writing? All right, number 2. Start off by figuring out what 3 parts are missing, and every problem can be different.
Okay.
Angle G and angle K, good.
Side G.
Side GK. Oh, that was what you said the first time. Okay, good. Angle G is blank, angle K is blank, side is blank. Hey, both the angles are missing. What button am I going to use?
Shit.
Yes, the shift with the inverse. Alright, so let's start with angle G. Let's make angle G the focus angle for no other reason than it's the first one I saw. If angle G is the focus angle, what's 12 going to be? Adjacent. And what's the 10 going to be?
Opposite.
Opposite. And GK is going to be? Hypotenuse. For finding angle G, though, which 2 matter? No H. The H is blank. The A and the O. Like A.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Alright, so now, A and O, what word is that? Tangents. Put them in the right order. TOA. T-O-A. So the O goes on top. I'm sorry, wait. Tangent of what? What's my focus angle?
G.
G. Good. Don't know the degrees. That means we're going to use the inverse button. Now I can do it. The tangent of G equals 10 over. Use the tangent inverse, and let's see what you get. Yeah, let's do the nearest 10. You said 39.8? Does everyone's calculator agree with that? Okay, you can use a lot of work to figure out angle K, or you could do it the easy way. Subtract everything from 180. Let's see what you get. $180 minus the 90 and minus the 39.8. Alright, so if you want a hint here, when you look back at your notes, say subtract from 180. That's how we get this one. Subtract everything we know from 180. 50.2. Now that's an estimated answer, but you get an estimated answer either way. 50.2 degrees. Okay, now use your own decision making here and decide how you want to find GK. Do you want to use SOHCAHTOA with the 39.8, or do you want to use Pythagorean theorem? Good. Can you tell me why? It's a good answer. What was your thought? An estimated answer, yeah. 39.8 is rounded, won't be exact. The 12 is exact and the 10 is exact, so that's better. Also, you have 2 sides, so you can use it. Just because when the directions aren't given, then I usually go to the nearest 10th unless it's just like a default thing that I do, unless the directions are clear enough. Some directions say around the nearest degree, and that's fine. Yeah, since the directions didn't say so, then you could. But then if you ever tried to use that for SOHCAHTOA, your answer would be even rounded more, estimated more. Okay, so it's okay. Just use your logic as you make those decisions. All right, so we're trying to find GK. So GK represents the hypotenuse, so that's GK squared, the hypotenuse squared, equals 12 squared plus 10 squared. Okay, this is the one you're asking about. Do you see what to do here now? Do the 12 squared plus the 10 squared in your calculator, make sure you hit equals, and then take this, make sure you hit equal, you add them together, and then you take the square root of it. Thank you. 15 point what? Is that what it rounds to? Alright, if the directions don't say, I always just do to the nearest tenth, but you can do whatever the directions say. Alright, if you don't do that all in one shot in your calculator, then just make sure you write down the steps that you go along at so you don't forget it along the way. Alright, so any questions on any of that? Alright, turn the page please. Look at number 1 and write down the 3 things that are missing before we discuss it. Write down the 3 things that are missing. Three things that are blank. In this case, I see 2 angles that are blank, and I see a side that are blank. Write those down. Turn to the right page, please. You're gonna make me sing anyone.
That's
Shut up.
Alright. What are the 3 missing parts?
Angle A, angle B, and side AB.
Okay, good. So now, you and a partner try to figure out angle A and B. For one of them, do the work. For the second one, just subtract from 180. And then after that, try to find the measure of angle AB. AB! You could have done it through Sofatella or through Pythagorean theorem. I got 7.74 because look up at the top of the page. It says to round any lengths that you find to the nearest hundred. That's 2 decimal places. So I always follow the directions. 7.74 says to round angles to the nearest degree, which means no decimal places. So I got 7.74. What did you get for angle A?
57.1.
Okay, good. But technically the directions said to the nearest degree, so you can just call that 57. And then what would angle B be? 33. You have the rest of the period to sit with the partner, work with the partner, and do number 2 through 4. I want you to come up to me for a stance because I want to see if you're doing okay before you go home to try some of these on your own. Your homework is only 4 problems.